Okay, so now we're gonna do the uptrend demand zone. So this is one of my favorites. As I mentioned before, I trade mostly demand and supply zones. Mostly, that's the majority of what I trade. The reason I covered the break and retest in the beginning is because those are simple, basic, fundamental trades that we all need to master, because when they happen, they're so easy. They're so easy to trade. And also the demand and supply zones, they build upon that break and retest scenario. So for the uptrend demand zone, this is when we're buying. Number one, market structure is long-term uptrend. So this blue line represents the long-term uptrend. The medium term is would be the yellow line right here. It's uptrending as well. That medium term time frame leaves us a demand zone. So this one may still be creating its candle, the long term, but the medium term is going to print a demand zone for us. So our zones, and normally the demand zone will be on top of or in line with the longer term zone. So long term uptrend, medium term uptrend, demand zone, okay? And then the entry signal for US 30 NAS will be 15-minute candle, 5-minute break of structure. GU, GJ, 30-minute candle, 1-hour candle. That's all you need. You can go down to the lower time frames as well if you want to see if there's a 15-minute break of structure. But a lot of times there'll be another 15-minute candle. But if you have a 30-minute, 1-hour candle on GJ, GU, that's all you pretty much really need, right? So rally-based rally. Let's get into it. Okay, so now we're going to get right into looking at GU, NAS 100, US 30, and GJ. So the demand setup is the one that I trade on a daily basis almost. This is the one that I make use of the most. The demand and the supply, those setups are my favorite setups. And to me, they offer the highest risk to reward. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We want to look at the daily to determine where the market makers are taking the market, right? We're going to use the daily as to help us see where, or have an idea of where the market makers are taking the market. So if we look at GU, what do we have here? So price was in a downtrend. Then price came up to create the lower high here, and a big sell happened. But then all of a sudden, aggressive buyers come in here. And then there's some indecision. And we could have sold here, right? This would be a good sell. And then if price continued to reject there, this would be a good sell. If we saw this candle, that would be a good sell, right? These are good sell candles to show that price is struggling here. But once this aggressive buyer comes into the market here, okay, once those aggressive buyers come in, the supply that was here, that was in big number, it was a big number of supply here at one point, okay? This took a few days to break, 7 days. Once price breaks that, and we see GU, this is bread and butter buy position. Okay, it's a bread and butter buy position. So we're gonna look at the 4-hour though. So the 4-hour is where I mark up my demand zones. So we look at the 4-hour. One thing I want you to see is that there are a few different zones that we could sell from. I mean, we could buy from. Okay, if we're looking at it here. So here and here. We have to be flexible because price is not fixed. So if we look at this zone here, this is a zone that we are selling from here. Selling, 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 okay? So here we have a rally. I mean, we have a drop. Okay, we have drop, drop, base, rally that continues up here. Okay, creates a demand. This wick here, this candle is a basing candle. You could also argue that this is rally, base, rally. So we have two potential zones to buy from. And as I mentioned, sometimes we have to be willing to take a loss. We have to be willing, not sometimes, we always have to be willing to pay the fee if our confirmations are here. So this is a strong zone. If confirmations show for a buy, we have to buy. If price comes down and comes to this demand, we have to buy with confirmations. So if we take a look, I'm going to toggle back to the daily. If we look at the big picture, on the daily, we're looking for price to create a higher high here. Okay. So higher high, we're looking for a higher low to be created here. So we're trying to figure out, okay, where will this higher low be? Okay, for another high to be created. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So now, as this plays out though, price doesn't hold there. Price comes down here. Price comes down here to the demand and it springs up. So what we'd be looking for, let's say we entered or not here. If we enter, we're gonna stay alive, right? Why? Because we're still looking at the daily higher low being created. So if price comes down a little bit lower, let's say we get stopped out for some reason. Let's say we get stopped out. I don't know what the confirmations look like here. But let's say we get stopped out. Price comes to the demand here. The daily is still looking like it's looking for the higher low. We're gonna stay alive. So we're gonna come here. We're looking at the 15 minute, okay? With GU, you can look at 30 minute, 1 hour, 15 minute. And I think with GU, we will get a nice break of structure, but this is kind of late. So if we look at the 30 minute, whoo, that's late too. We look at the 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour candle, tweezers in the demand zone. Okay, if we trade it from that zone up to here, that's a 1 to 3. Now remember, we're looking at the daily time frame, so we could trade all the way up to here. Okay, so if you just want to rely on candles on if you're trading GU, we're gonna go beyond the 4 hour. We're gonna go lower than the 4 hour because we want to catch a better entry. So we have, if you look at the 1 hour, there's a tweezer bottoms here. Okay, tweezer bottoms on the 1 hour. And you can enter GU and GJ from the candles, 1 hour, 30 minute candles. Okay, look at the 30 minute. Okay, that would have gave us a better entry. So the 30 minute here, we have pin bar, bullish candle here. We could have entered from the candle here, and we have a greater R&R. Right, it's 1 to 5 here. If we're looking for a quick exit, that wouldn't be good. We would be looking to hold it. Okay, knowing that we're going with a higher time frame. If we look at the 1 hour, that tweezer bottoms in the demand zone is what we would be looking at as our strongest confirmation. If we held all the way up here, that's 1 to 6. But if we just wanted to be modest, we can have a 1 to 5 in this zone here. Okay. Now, why do I choose this zone? I'm choosing the next 4 hour zone. So this was where price sold from. Okay. So I normally choose the next 4 hour zone here. Okay. So price came down here, gave us the 1 hour tweezers. Okay. So I'm going to try to target somewhere here where price sold from on the 4 hour. Okay. That's going to be my target for my first TP. After that, you can still hold on to some of that if you want. Okay. So we're going to hold on to that and we will watch the play out. Okay. So that's GU. Same system, market structure, zones. It's a demand zone. It's a daily zone, 4 hour zone. And then we look at the candles for confirmation. Okay. So let's go on to NAS 100. So we look at NAS 100. The way that NAS and US 30 buy, you won't see much structure. If you see the bull candles and it's breaking levels, then that's all you need to see. Okay. So here it's rallying. Okay. So they sold off. They did some accumulation here and then rally, broke the structure here and started to rally. So here, once I see the rallying, what I'm looking for, I'm going to the 4 hour time frame and I'm looking for zones. So if you look at all these 4 hour zones that were broken, that's a 4 hour zone broken. Okay. This is a 4 hour zone that's broken. Okay. So I'm looking for 4 hour zones to buy from. So here is another zone. Here, we could have bought here. That breaks, comes back and retests, buy here. This one breaks here, comes back and retests. We could have bought here after that strong candle, but then once price comes back here, that's another one, right? So as price is breaking levels, that's what I want to be. I want to be looking at the levels that are being broken for potential buy opportunities. Okay. So here, prices broke above here, but what did it leave us? It left us a demand zone. So here we have the sideways movement. Okay. That's our base, strong rally. Okay. So even though, so the rallies aren't the drawings that we had, the sideways movement was perfect. But that's not going to be the case. So here, rally, base, rally, strong movement up to the upside, left us a demand zone. So once price comes back to the demand zone, we look at the daily, we have a higher high and we're anticipating a higher low on top of this daily zone. This is a daily zone right here, right? So this is a strong, powerful zone. So market structure, uptrend. It's in the markup phase. Zone, it's on a daily zone as well as 4-hour zone, and then 4-hour demand zone. So our zones are solid. Then with NAS 100 and NAS 100 US 30, you want to come down to the 5-minute and 15-minute. So I couldn't get to the 5-minute because of data. So I went to the 12-minute here. But what you'll see is when price comes, it touches the zone. Here, I have a breaker structure here. Breaker structure on that. It's on the 12-minute, but same idea. On the 5-minute, it would have been a breaker structure. So when I have the 5-minute breaker structure, okay, as well as okay. Okay. So we would have had a 5-minute breaker structure as well as 15-minute candles. So here, when NAS 100 and US 30 touch the demand zone, normally it shoots right away. It's going to be very quick. So here we have a morning star, 15-minute. Morning star, 15-minute. Okay. And this happens at the end of the day. So we aren't expecting the big blast up, right? But what happens is before the close, we have a breaker structure on the 15-minute. Price comes back down. We should shoot. You don't have to have your stop loss below the demand zone way down here. You can use the candles as a base. Once the breaker structure happens, this is a zone. So you put your stop loss here, and then your TP can go up. Okay, if you get a really good entry, your TP can come here where the price sold on the 4-hour, but the overall target is up higher. Okay, so if we watch this play out, and I actually took a similar play like this on US 30. We're gonna talk about it in just a minute. So this gave us a 1 to 5. This is a 1 to 9 if we held it, but let's say we got a nice entry down here by the 4-hour. And we wanted to have a conservative target there. We can take our 1 to 3, but an ideal target is the 4-hour zone up here where it sold from. Okay, so if you look at this, this is the daily high. Price came down here. Price comes here, gives us a confirmation. We can ideally trade it all the way up to here comfortably, right? We don't have to hold it to the top because price can reject here where the 4-hour sold from before. So you see, so that's a 1 to 7 trade. Okay, if we looked at the lower time frame, if you looked at the 15-minute, that's good enough. Okay, 15-minute. So let's say 15-minute. So if it's a 15-minute breaker structure, and as I said in the other video, if you have a 15-minute breaker structure on indices in your zone, you have to shoot it. You have to shoot it. Trust me, I've back tested this so much. Whenever you have that come up, you have to shoot it. It's most likely going to go in your favor. All right. So now let's take a look at US 30. Here, I'm going to save these screenshots. All right, so we take a look at US 30, similar scenario. Now, I beat the MFF challenge from this one. Okay. Now, while people were trying to anticipate the sell, I'm buying. Why? Because we had a accumulation phase here. After the decline, we had an accumulation phase here. Okay. So this is the decline phase here. Decline phase here, accumulation. So they've accumulated orders. Now, when they accumulate orders, accumulate contracts, what do they want to do? They want to push those up higher so that they can eventually sell, right? We know we're going into a recession. We know that because of inflation and the interest rates, the indices are overall bearish, but the price doesn't move straight down in a line. It's going to continue to go through these phases: accumulation, markup, distribution, and decline. Accumulation, markup, distribution, and decline. It's going to continue to go through those phases. So we need to take advantage of that as day traders. So when we go into the markup phase and we're clearly breaking levels, we don't want to be trying to anticipate the sell. We want to be buying. So when price comes, look at this rally, base, rally. Okay, look at the 4 hour. Here, we have a rally, base, rally, okay? So this is a 4 hour demand zone. All right, 4 hour demand. Now price comes here, does a tweezer bottoms in the demand. If we see this tweezer bottoms form, that's all we need to see on the 4 hour. As I mentioned, we're gonna go to the lower time frame, but the 4 hour is strong. That's a 1 to 3. We just trading from the 4 hour, okay? But we're going to go to the lower time frame, right? We want to go to the 15 minute. Okay, we can look at the 30 minute, 15 minute, and 5 minute. Okay, so normally I'm just looking at the 15 minute and the 5 minute. Okay, so here, so 15 minute, we have a break of structure in the demand zone. Break of structure here. Okay, we're creating lower lows here, lower low, new high here. Okay, so once the new high is created, okay, we are good. We are good to buy. We are good to buy. And we can watch this. We can watch this one play out here. Then look, we had another strong candle that we here, bullish pin bar. That's another one. Okay, that bullish pin bar came and retested the wick and then shot up. That's our, so see, so people are looking at this, oh, it's a break of structure on the 4 hour. Price is reversing. We're going to sell. No, we're in the daily markup. We're rallying on the daily. This break of structure on the 4 hour is a temporary down move for the retracement on the daily. This does not mean that we're starting to sell. We need to look at buys. Look at the demand zone. Don't get caught up with the herd. Okay. All right. So that's US 30. We did GU, NAS 100, US 30, and GJ is here. Okay. So quickly, we'll just look at the 4 hour for GJ. I'll let you do your markup. I'll let you come back and look at this scenario yourself. Rally, base, rally. Okay, on the 4 hour. Okay. And then price comes down here, comes up. So we're going to be looking at the lower time frame. By the time price gets here, starts to approach the demand, we're going to be looking at the lower time frame. Okay. So come to the 30 minute. If you trade GU, GJ, you can use the 30 minute as I mentioned. You can use the 30 minute candles, 15 minute candle, 1 minute 1 hour candle, 30-minute candle. Okay. You can go down and look at the 15-minute for the breaker structure as well. Okay. So I'm gonna keep these, I'm gonna have these side by side. So we're gonna see the 30-minute. We're gonna be watching the 15-minute over here. Okay. All right. So price comes into this zone. Okay. So what do we have at the demand? We have an inside bar, which is a great candle to use, pattern to use as an entry. Okay. And we're going to watch the 15-minute, what happens on the 15-minute. So here, bullish engulfing, bullish pin bar. So this is a high indication that price is going to go in our favor. Okay, so 30-minute, 1 hour is going to have a like a doji. Let's see. Okay, strong inside bar. So this alone, 30-minute inside bar with the retest, that's our setup. That's our setup. Okay, so we let this play out on the 15-minute. There's a breaker structure on the 15-minute. Okay, so if price happened to come back down here and you didn't enter, you need to enter. Remember the breaker structure. Okay. All right. So price came down and gave us some more on this minor zone right here. Gave us some more support here, but our entry was down here. Okay. Once that 30-minute candle formed inside bar, that's our entry. Okay. So here, let's say that you didn't enter, but price comes back to retest. Sometimes this will happen. You can enter again. If price does not break below, you can enter again. Okay, price doesn't break below, starts to reject, enter your position and carry it all the way up. Okay, so we'll let this one play out. Okay, so it took some time, but it hit our target. All right. So that wraps up the portion on demand. Please drop your questions and comments in the comment section. Please do your homework. Your homework will be to find 5 to 6 demand scenarios of your own, and you can send them to me in the homework section for me to review and for you to discuss with your Profit X teammates, Profit X colleagues. Thanks. See you in the next video.